No rules game. Michael Grant always woke up at 5 a.m., even when there was no reason to. Discipline wasn't just a habit, it was his way of life. Cold shower, black coffee, a brief run, and silence. Success didn't come easy, and he knew it. Every dollar was earned, every connection built from nothing. No dirty tricks, no shortcuts. Just hard work, smart deals, and absolute control. By 40, Michael owned 12 boutique hotels, 5 restaurants, a logistics firm, and co-working spaces across the East Coast. People said, if you work for Grant, you're safe. His name was associated with quality, stability, and integrity. And in a world full of predators, he was the rare lion that didn't need to roar. He had no wife, no serious relationships. Not because he was afraid, but because he'd never found someone who felt right. Some said he was married to his business. Others whispered he simply didn't trust women. In truth, he just waited for something real. And then, she appeared. It was at a private investor gala in New York, one of those events where everyone wore expensive suits and pretended to care about innovation. Her name was Olivia Barnes. She introduced herself as a financial strategist from a Zurich-based hedge fund. She was elegant, sharp, and carried herself like a woman who'd seen too much but let nothing show. When she approached him, he felt oddly off balance. "Michael Grant," she said, smiling faintly, "your hotels are known for disrupting European standards." "And you are?" he asked. "Just someone who likes collecting interesting minds for lunch." They spoke all night. She was witty, insightful, and never tried to impress him. That's what impressed him the most. Within a week, she was in his life. Within a month, in his home. Within 2, his business advisor and partner. She was brilliant. Olivia didn't ask for money, didn't brag about who she knew, didn't overplay her hand. Instead, she gave him ideas. Bold ones. "Mike," she said one night over dinner, "we need a fund. Our own capital pool. Private investors. Discreet, powerful, tight." He hesitated, but she laid out a plan, flawless and clean. She had answers to every concern. Her logic was bulletproof. So, he said yes. They launched Apex Core Capital, a closed fund for HNWIs only, minimum buy-in, $1 and million. The elite lined up, politicians, celebrities, global executives. With Grant's name backing it, everyone believed. Quarter 1, 17% return. Quarter 2, 22%. It was a machine. Efficient. Profitable. And Michael started to believe he had found not only a partner, but the love of his life. Then, the silence came. One Monday morning, he woke up to a call from his legal counsel. "Mike, something's wrong." "What?" "The fund accounts are empty. And Olivia's gone." He froze. Checked himself. 0 balances. Millions gone. Paper trails showed everything had been signed off by him. But he never approved anything. The next day, police knocked on his door. Within a week, his world collapsed. Investors were furious. The media swarmed. Friends vanished. Lawyers couldn't explain how it happened. On paper, it was all his fault. Every signature, every transaction, led back to him. Then came the leaked hotel footage from Dubai. Olivia, champagne in hand, wrapped around a man named Ryan Caldwell, her so-called unstable ex she once cried about. They were laughing, relaxed. Later that day, they boarded a private jet to Malta. Michael wasn't arrested. Prosecutors couldn't prove intent. He was labeled the victim, but the damage was done. His reputation destroyed. His businesses liquidated to pay off angry investors. His name? A cautionary tale. 6 months later, he lived alone in a 1-bedroom apartment in Brooklyn. He stared at his wall for hours. "I've lost everything," he said to himself. But deep down, something stirred. He was still alive. He disappeared. Moved to Montenegro. Took a job managing someone else's hotel under a fake name. Then relocated to Dubai. Consulted for logistics firms. Spent nights reading financial law and cybercrime case files. He studied greed, betrayal, digital footprints, and shell companies. He became someone else. Colder. Sharper. Patient. He rebuilt. Quietly. Methodically. 3 years later, he resurfaced as Mark Ellison, founder of a data security company serving high-level financial institutions. No one recognized him. His name wasn't public. But the company grew. And so did his resources. That's when he saw her. Olivia Barnes, now Olivia Caldwell, had reappeared. New hedge fund. New interviews. Magazine covers. A comeback queen. Her husband? Ryan Caldwell, now co-founder and managing partner. They were riding high again. But Michael knew, the higher the climb, the nastier the fall. He infiltrated slowly. Through shell firms and third-party brokers, he offered a partnership from a fictional sovereign wealth fund. Olivia took the bait, like always. Within 18 months, he had access to their internal operations, files, and financial records. She never suspected. He had aged, changed, masked everything. And while they celebrated new investors and glowing profiles, he was watching. He documented the fraud, false audits, fake companies, money laundering, investor manipulation. He hired forensic analysts, former federal prosecutors. Every piece of data was legally gathered and quietly delivered to the Swiss authorities. Then he struck. The scene was perfect. A financial summit in Zurich. Olivia was set to receive the Female Financial Leader of the Year award. Press cameras, applause. "I want to thank everyone who believed in me," she began, beaming. Then came the interruption. Men in gray suits entered the stage. "Olivia Barnes Caldwell, you're under arrest for international financial fraud and money laundering." Gasps. Phones out. Panic. Olivia froze. Ryan was arrested the next day in Barcelona, trying to flee. Authorities had it all: accounts, passwords, emails, offshore logs. And Michael? He sat in a penthouse hotel in Istanbul, watching it all unfold on a live stream. No smile. No gloating. Just silence. Justice, finally. Weeks later, courts began returning frozen assets to the victims of Apex Corp. Michael's reputation was slowly restored. He re-emerged in the business world under his real name, not as a victim, but as a man who outplayed the predators. He built again. Stronger. Smarter. Less trusting. But more dangerous. In his new office, 38 floors above the city, there was one framed photo, a younger version of him, standing in front of his very first restaurant. Below it, a simple inscription: "Revenge isn't punishment. It's taking back what was stolen, and more."